It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at a stop. I thought I was fine, and then once I got home, I realized it's a lot worse than I thought. I ended up having a ruptured disc. You say you're not hurting, and then an hour later, you're saying you're in all this pain. I just felt like most people would think that I was lying. And that's when I decided to call Daniel Stark. I owe a lot to Daniel Stark. They really got me what I deserved.
The difference is stark.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level when we shut down to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
With Ease US, make studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
Hi, I'm Mitch, the co-founder of Cake, a sexual health and wellness company designed for today and designed for you. Yes, you. The entire product line can be found at hellocake.com, and it's also available in every Walmart near you.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator. The You Like Air 3, launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. That's ULIKE.com. You Like.
It is the Pete Sousa Show, and we are live. We're in North Texas, by the way. I cannot wait till we get I almost said the F word, a studio up here. It's like every time it is such a goat rodeo to like put this like fly-by-night studio together over here. And let me just vent. And I always forget something. I'm in a closet. I'm like up to like here with like all like the little back and forth and all the stuff. It's driving me crazy. But guess what? None of that matters because it's Friday. No, it's Thursday. I don't even know what day it is. I'm traveling today. I'm very, very fortunate going to UAB for USF UAB. And we are presented by Slovacics, by the way. Also Crawford Austin Properties, right? You cannot forget Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers. And you can't forget Scotty Swingler. Forget everybody else. What a treat. You know, I miss being in the studio with Scotty already. My guy. I mean, it really is. Scotty, I'm like, I think we had it so good. I think I was in the studio for a whole like week and some change. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's like, so there's so much. I hope I'm going through this microphone right now. You know, I feel like everything is on top of me. I'm about to blow my top. But you know what?
Well, you know what? You look good, although that is an interesting shirt hat combo that you got going there, Pete. But you look good.
You can do USFL and NFL at the same time.
Can you? I don't know. It's a little odd to me. See, I'll turn it around later. I've got a Baylor cap and a Baylor shirt, even though it's different Baylor Bears. I can't even point right when I'm flipped on the camera. It's different Baylor Bears. That's the modern bear. I've got Sailor Bear on the cap, but I don't know that I've seen the NFL. What's that? USFL? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen that combo before. That's interesting to me.
Okay, one thing real quick. I'm going to ask you one question, then I'm going to do like 6 or 7 minutes, and then we'll break, and then we'll bring on Bob Asmussen, a writer from Champaign, Illinois, has covered Illinois forever, but more importantly, has been a top 25 AP voter forever. And I'm curious to talk to him about rankings, what he sees as far as the college football playoff rankings are concerned and the AP rankings, how it all comes together, and what he thinks about voters who really don't know what they're doing, because he's one of the ones that does know what they're doing. Is Lincoln Riley going to be the next head coach of Baylor, Scotty?
There's smoke. There's smoke there. My understanding from conversations I've had, and I've alluded to this in some text messages with folks, but this is the first time I've said it, is that might be plan B. It might be plan B. And that's a pretty dadgum good plan B. I think most of us know what plan A is. I'm not going to say at the risk of
Eric Morris.
I'm not going to say at the risk of being taken out of context. I have no definitive news, but I think.
What about, do you know one guy I was thinking about that nobody's talked about? I'm just saying. What about Brian Kelly? Because he's not going to want to take.
No way. No, listen, we talked when he was let go at LSU about how bad his kind of not character, maybe that's too much, but his persona is.
Dude,
you know, they don't want that at Baylor, man. And let me just say, Lincoln Riley and candidate A are both also proven winners who don't have those issues.
Who's candidate A? Is that Eric Morris?
Pete, I'm going to simply shut my mouth and let you guess.
Eric Morris, right?
Pete, I am not going to confirm.
Kenny?
I'm not going to confirm nor deny these names that you're asking me.
All right, get out of here.
I don't have definitive information. I have good sources on who Baylor would like to get. And my understanding is Lincoln Riley is absolutely on the table. There's a lot more to work through there. There is a candidate A who's probably a slightly more logical fit that people have been talking about that they would really like to get. And I will leave it at that. And either candidate, by the way, and even there's a candidate C, and any of them would make Baylor fans very happy. Baylor is in a very good position this morning to get a coach.
Yeah, you're gonna break something?
No, because I do not have information to break. Dave Aranda is still the head coach of Baylor. I have nothing to break. I know the thought process is happening. There is smoke to Lincoln Riley.
Right,
but there's
give me a hint at the A. So Morris, yeah. So we're talking about Morris and Maker.
If you get candidate A, you're hoping to get an AD first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, one more. You know who will be wherever he goes? I've been kind of putting this together. This is like decent breaking news. This is just not breaking news, but a development that I've uncovered. So I'm doing the UAB game, right? But they're playing USF. So, we're very fortunate. We get to talk to these coaches. And I'm not going to say anything that Alex Golish told us, besides the fact that he's just an amazing dude. When you talk to him about the possibility that he's a hot commodity right now, he'll simply say it's a reflection of the guys that, are playing so well. Like, that's why I am a hot commodity. But when you look at him, by the way, his quarterback, Byron Brown, is amazing. And
yeah, he's great.
So here's something I figured out. We asked the question this morning, and this isn't, I'll say this on the broadcast tomorrow. So he's listed as a senior, right? But he's a redshirt junior. And their sports information guys, it's like, we're trying to keep people from poaching him. So they list him as a senior. They list him as where he is academically. So imagine this. Imagine if Golish goes somewhere with Byron Brown. Because he, like that is.
By the way, the case is true for Eric Morris as well.
Yeah.
Theoretically, if you get Eric Morris, you get Drew Messmaker, who has been stuffing the stat sheet all season pretty remarkably.
He has been. I worry a little bit about. I'm kind of a prick in a sense. I do worry about a guy who was. There's a reason why he was a 0-star guy.
Oh my God! But he's playing in the same conference as Byron Brown and playing really well. So get over it, Pete. Either they're great or they're not.
You're right. I'm over it. All right, let me do a quick 3 minutes here because I do want to talk about the Big 12 and everything. And I was thinking about this morning. I've been in a sea of college football carousel rumors, whatever. By the way, it is thunder and lightning and raining here in Flower Mound, Texas. But I've been in a sea of all these rumors. One of the things that I have noticed, read, heard, I heard Josh Pate say it. It's not the coaches so much that are at fault. It's not the ADs. It's not the people who come with the smoke to start the rumors. It really is the calendar, dude. The calendar sucks. Pate said it this morning. He was like, imagine if the NFL draft took place right as the playoffs started, right? And then imagine if free agency took place like right when the Super Bowl was happening, right? Like we're talking about National Signing Day and the transfer portal. Like, and then the coaching carousel. Like, if you don't go deep into the playoffs, if your school doesn't, then you actually have a leg up on finding just about anybody, you can out of these great coaches that are going to become available. The Baylor thing that we're talking about here, Scotty's excited, and maybe after we talk to Bob, Scotty and I can dig more into this a little bit. But like the Baylor thing might come up against a wall in a sense that everything Shahan told us yesterday, like they're basically going to have to litigate what they want to do or what they're going to do with Mac. That could probably take at least a month. We're coming up on Thanksgiving. And then, okay, let's say you hire a new AD at the end of December after Christmas. Then you got to start trying to hire a coach right away. It's like the cycle does not favor Baylor right now. And so I do worry a little bit about the future and a rush to judgment here because you may not get some of these coaches we're talking about because they may already be somewhere else. And that's just a calendar that I think is very flawed. I know is very flawed. And the situation right now as it lines up the calendar that Baylor is up against. Linda Livingstone, first of all, I'm a huge fan. And I just want to let you know I'm behind you. And I also want to let America know that Dr. Linda Livingstone, the athletic director for Baylor, or the president, of Baylor, may have the toughest job in all of college sports right now. I don't know how she's going to sort all this out at a Power 4 school, but the clock is ticking, right? That's one thing I'll say. Positives. Let's talk about positives in the sea of coaching changes and a lot of people complaining and the fear of losing your coach. The Big 12 is in such a power position right now because there's two teams who are kicking ass in the Big 12. Let's say three, okay? The Big 12's top three teams, Utah, BYU, Texas Tech, they have coaches that are so I know Joey McGuire's only been at Texas Tech for a short while, but why would you and why would he ever want to go anywhere, right? The fourth coach that I look at right now is Kenny Dillingham. And we're going to find out relatively soon here just how committed he is to Arizona State. There's a chance that, everything he's told us is true, which means you've got four marquee coaches. If Kenny Dillingham, if this cycle passes and Kenny proves that he indeed does want to be at Arizona State forever, that is four kick-ass marquee coaches who are legit like part of the fabric of the schools they coach at now and part of the family of the schools they coach at now. And family, as much as far away as they go, they're still a part of you. And these coaches, they're not going anywhere. So they're always going to be a part of these schools. That's what I believe. We'll find out what Kenny does sooner than later. We're going to step aside, come back. We're going to talk with Bob Asmussen all about the college football rankings, the college football playoff, and just how the sausage, nobody wants to see how the sausage is made, but we're going to at least talk about it. You won't have to watch it because Bob's going to be joining us over the phone. Pete Sousa Show, back after this.
Bubble allows you to make it real and for it to actually work. So I feel like Bubble does bridges that gap and being able to give people the opportunity to make their ideas come to life really quickly too. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built and have the control over it.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
Hi, I'm Jo from Face Theory. You're going to want to have a specific goal for your skincare routine. What do you want to achieve? Active ingredients are really strong, and if you're using too many at once, your skin can get overwhelmed. Don't overspend on products. Choose products that have scientific research behind them. At Face Theory, if you're not happy with a product, just say so, just give us a shout and we'll give you your money back, no problem.
I know you're gonna love this Kodak Dot Plus printer. You guys just connect it to your smartphone and then you're gonna use the Kodak Photo Print app. It's going to print you a 4x6 photo. I am just in awe. I love how these turned out. Also, the printer comes with a free cartridge of 10 photo sheets. I can assure you, you are going to love this printer as much as my family has. You guys have to check it out for yourself.
Streamline event and appointment booking with Amelia's sleek, modern, and fully customizable booking forms. Tailor the colors, fonts, and design to match your brand and seamlessly integrate with your WordPress website. Whether it's for events or appointments, Amelia makes booking simple, stylish, and perfectly aligned with your business. Enhance your booking experience today at WPAmelia.com. That's WPAMELIA.com. Amelia.
When you learn a language with Babbel, you start a journey that takes you further and further. Anytime and anywhere you wish. It's easy and fun. Broadens your horizons and keeps your brain fit. A journey into new thoughts, new cultures, new adventures. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Babbel now. Go to babbel.com or download the app.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry for its dedication to helping individuals with bad credit secure loans. By making timely repayments, borrowers can gradually repair their credit history, thereby increasing their chances of securing better loan terms in the future. BadCreditLoans.com serves as a beacon of hope for those with bad credit. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
We are joined now from the News Gazette in Champaign, Bob Asmussen. Bob, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking me to be on, Pete.
Oh, dude, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're a busy man. You're up against it. You got an interview coming up with Brett Bielema at 11 o'clock Central Time, so we won't take too much of your busy day. I want to start with the top 25 rankings that you post every week. You're accountable, which I love. You put your own top 25 out there. When you see your own top 25, and then you look at the college football playoff and the rankings, right? what is the most curious as far as the differential between your rankings and the college football playoff rankings? What do you find about their rankings that to you is curious?
Well, I honestly, this week, for instance, Illinois was ranked 21, and they were not ranked by AP, which I had on my poll at 22. So I think Illinois probably should be ranked in the top 25, but they're not. But that was one. One thing people always ask me, you come to the number of teams to a particular conference. I don't pay attention to that at all. I think that's happening a lot with the CFP. I think people are going, let's just see 1, 2, 3, 4. They're counting the number of teams. I don't think they do that. I know I don't. I do not do that. I don't care about the conference. I want the best teams in there. So I think that's kind of maybe the main difference. But I think there are a lot of good people on that committee. So I trust what they're doing. I also trust what I'm doing. We're looking at different things, I think.
Bob, what do you think about Notre Dame? I mean, do you feel like, you're right there in the Midwest. And it would, you would look at that and, we're in Big 12 country. So it's my instinct to think, oh man, there's a little bit of Notre Dame bias here. What are your thoughts on that? And where do you have Notre Dame ranked?
I believe I have them maybe one spot below where they are in the CFP. Might have them 8 or 9 somewhere there. I should look at the number real quick. I'll admit I've got 2 nieces that went to Notre Dame. Okay, and I've been to games there. I love going to games. It's one of the best places ever. Not the best, but one of the best. But I also believe that they're going to be judged by like everybody else. What have you done in the field? Now they lost 2 games early to 2 good teams, so that's something. You have to consider that. But you also have to look at what they've done lately. And I think their coach is really good. I think the staff is good. I think quarterbacks really improved this year. So I don't overvalue them. I don't punish them because I know them well either. I think it's very important to look at it objectively. I know people in the Midwest kind of think, well, they're getting a break. Well, I don't think they're getting a break. I wish they were playing somebody better over the next week. That's for sure. They're playing Syracuse and Stanford. That's not competitive. Those games are going to be a blowout. So I wish they were playing somebody that could actually beat them. But they've done enough to make the playoffs, I think. It's close. They won't be at home, I don't think. Hopefully they're on the road somewhere.
Well, and when you look at the Big Ten, you're right there in the eye of the storm. You've been writing about Illinois for years. You've seen a lot of Big Ten, and now you see this newest iteration of the conference. How good is the conference this year, and how many teams do you think will get into the college football playoff out of the Big Ten?
First of all, it's really good. It's really, really good, especially at the top. Those Ohio State and Indiana are two of the best teams in the country, certainly. They've been there all year. I've seen both of them in person. One at Indiana, where they just killed Illinois, beat them by 3, and then one game here against Ohio State in Champaign. And that was also not lopsided. It was a closer game, but not again, Ohio State won easily. And so I think those 2 teams are really exceptional. But I also think Oregon's exceptional. So I think the Big Ten has 3 for sure. Then the question is, do you get a 4th? If there's going to be a 4th, it's going to probably have to be Southern Cal. But I've also seen them here. Illinois beat them, and that actually has hurt the Southern Cal badly. But the fact that if they went out, so they have to be Oregon and UCLA. They go to 10-2. I think they would deserve to make a spot too. It would be close. They have the loss to Notre Dame. That's tough. The loss to Illinois is really tough, but they're a good team too. I think the Big Ten deserves 4, but I think they'll get 3. I think they definitely will get 3, and I think they're fine. I think Oregon can beat anybody. I certainly think Ohio State and Indiana can beat anybody. I've seen all this teams live, except for Oregon.
What do you think about this newest? I mentioned this newest version of the Big Ten. How do you think about the travel? How have you, as a writer, handled that? And how do you think? I mean, Illinois is right in the middle of the pack, right, as far as like geographically. But then you got Rutgers, UCLA, and Maryland. Like, how do you think those teams are truly adjusting to that travel? This phase in the game, we've been in it now in this, like I said, new version for a few years.
Well, I think it's much harder for the teams from the West Coast to come here. I don't know if there's any question about that. If you look at the records, I think in the next couple of years, you'll see the Midwest teams are going to, and East Coast teams are going to do better when especially those teams come to the West Coast, that's a long trip. So never know how to, and for Illinois, you're right, halfway between both. So the trip to Rutgers is not as hard as the trip to maybe Southern Cal, but it's pretty much the same thing. And it's just, I think, these guys are pretty adaptive. They do a lot of things. And they're not flying like puddle jumpers. They're flying in jets. They come to Tampa. So it's not hard, okay? I mean, if you or I were flying, we'd be doing coach. We'd be crammed next to the grandma and the kid screaming baby. But they're not doing that. They're flying private jets or private charter flights. It's a lot better. They're going directly to the place. It's not as hard as we think it is. It's all a burden, but it's not impossible. Honestly, I was not sure about this whole thing when they started. The more I see it, I love the UCLA and Southern Cal and Washington and Oregon is going to come to Champaign to play. I just think that's awesome. I think it's four more really good teams, really good programs with great histories. I'm all for it. I think this is where we're going. We are going to go to expansion, and I don't think it's done either. I think there's more teams come to Big Ten and to the SEC. I think we're going to have another round here in the next 5 or 6 years.
If you could predict who those teams would be that would be added to the Big Ten, who would they be? Do you have any inkling, any ideas, or any predictions?
Well, yeah, we talked about one of them already, Notre Dame. They are such a logical fit for the Big Ten. It's not even funny. Now they don't want to do it, and I'm not sure that they can be forced to do it either. But I think it would be logical because they're close to everybody and they play a lot of this game. I think then I look at the ACC. I see that comes to being maybe in some trouble. I look at Carolina, Virginia, some of those schools make a lot of sense. Just for the Big Ten, Georgia Tech would be another one. For the Big Ten to expand its footprint in terms of TV and just geography, they're already across the country. They might as well add some more. Might as well go to the south and the east a little bit more. But I think that'd be some ACC schools would make a lot of sense to me too. So Notre Dame, I think 6 more is going to happen. So I think
6 more. Okay, that's interesting.
That's small. Yeah, down the road.
That's good stuff. All right, last question for you, Bob, because I know you got to get to it. Yeah. When we talk about my friend Scotty, who's our producer, wanted to ask you this: the disparity between the AP ranking, JMU and UNT over Tulane, and the playoff committee ranking only Tulane. What do you think about that? Like there is a pretty big difference there.
There is, and I don't quite love that because I have Shades of Medicine in my rankings. I've had them in a couple of. I think again, body of work. That's what you have to look at. But I think the committees said they were going to do this. Look at the schedule, and GMU doesn't have a whole lot of control of that right now. They roll down the road. They probably need to rethink that a little bit. But again, they're beating the teams they're playing. I don't know what more you can do. You would think they'd be dangerous in the class. Absolutely. I think Navy would be dangerous. I think Tulane would be dangerous because the nature of college football is all the teams that play them, any team that plays them, is going to probably take them lightly. Even though it's a playoff, they can say, we're going to beat them. It's not a problem. But I think we can take them lightly. You're going to run into trouble. So I like James Madison a lot. I think, obviously, I'm all for the Group of 5 team getting in the playoff. I think that's a great thing. I think it adds to a lot of suspense. Just always go back to Boise State against Oklahoma in that one 4 games a couple years ago when they won the game. I always go back to that. That happens again in the playoff game. It'll be one of the coolest things we have ever seen. So I'm all in favor of that. I like the fact they're included Group of 5. I hope they don't move away from that. I think that'd be a mistake driven by greed of the SEC Big Ten. I don't want to say that.
Bob, that is a great point because at some point, and maybe hopefully in the near future, that upset will happen and it'll change the thinking and the speaking of everyone right now who's looking to kind of move on from those Group of 5 teams and their appearances. Bob Asmussen, I thank you so much. Check him out, the Champaign News-Gazette. He is the real deal. Been doing it for a long time. Bob, we really appreciate you sharing time with us today.
Anytime, Pete. You call me back at any time, all right?
All right, you got to take care. There he goes, Bob Asmussen. Hey, Scotty, let's take a quick break, and then I want to bring you back, and I want to go through some of these hot topics. with Baylor and the coaching search, because that seems to be top of mind with everybody. And I want to share some of my thoughts and get some of yours. And then we're going to welcome Kevin Hall, get our predictions for this weekend. But there's some meat on the bone here with college football coaching and some developments in Central Texas. So let's stick with that when we get back to Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacics.
It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
Experience with the Bosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
BosleyMD.com.
Join us at golfpartnerusa.com and discover why we're the trusted choice for golf lovers worldwide. That's GOLFPARTNERUSA.com. Golf Partner. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. NordVPN.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Dive into adventure with Scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust Scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at Scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com. At Fullwell, we bring together the expertise of registered dietitians, MDs, and OBGYNs to give you the best fertility support. Fullwell, your trusted partner on your fertility journey. Visit us at FullwellFertility.com. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at GEVI.com to discover more.
It's the Pete Sousa Show.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at san.com.
At Carousel, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit OpenGOAAALUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com.
Serving Central Texas since 1889, TFNB Your Bank for Life takes pride in being more than a bank. TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, your bank for life.
Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long.
Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your picks right and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. Download the app today and sign up with promo code Sousa to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code Sousa. That's S-O-U-S-A. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369.
Underdog. Welcome back. Time for my college football picks. Ain't nothing Pete can say about it because he's not in studio. We're going Big 12 quarterback edition this week. You know, I got to stick with what I know. And just honestly, I watch more Big 12 football than anything else, although I've watched a lot of Indiana this year. And here's what I think. I think Underdog giving you some really nice numbers here to make some money. Make picks, win money. That's what they say at Underdog. Here's how you can do it with me. Sawyer Robertson, this hits just about every single week. Even last week in a horrible loss to Utah, I made this exact same pick, and it worked out for me. At least this one did. Sawyer Robertson, higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns. I mean, what are we doing at this point? It's a guarantee. By the way, I would say the same for Josh Hoover. Regardless of how TCU plays, that dude seems to stack up scores. They've got a big game this week against in-state rival Houston. By the way, TCU looking to play spoiler to an otherwise outstanding Houston season. Give Hoover higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns as well. And then listen, Bear Bachmeier. BYU fell to Texas Tech, but Cincinnati is collapsing here at the end of the season. And it's time for some Cougar revenge. Higher than 52.5 rush yards for Bear. And by the way, I did the flex pick. Thank you, Underdog. If I get 2 of these 3, I win money. If I get all 3, I win more money. You can play along too at Underdog. Use that promo code Sousa, S-O-U-S-A, just like the show name here. And they'll give you that $50 of free bonus cash when you put in your first $5. Great way to play. Great way to support the Pete Sousa Show. Great way to make picks. Win money. What do you think, Pete?
I think you look great. I think you sound great. I'm not sure about your picks, but come on back because we're going to chat a Baylor. And this is I feel like I almost honestly because I have been buried in this stuff, right? This getting ready for this game. I'm like typing and writing and watching, and I have been kind of out of it.
Doing good work.
Thank you. But I'm out of it on the Baylor search. So I do want some updates. Here, let's answer this one question. I'll pull it up. And this is from Bear the Truth. And this is a great question, right? Do y'all think, this guy's from Chicago, by the way. Do you guys think, let's just say that, okay? The legal negotiations between Mac's team and Baylor's counsel are close to coming to a separation agreement. What's the likelihood of Aranda's exit at that time? First of all, I'll say this, just because this is based on experience, and this is based on what we heard from Shahan yesterday, and the fact that we have heard nothing from Baylor or from Mac. I don't think we're anywhere close to being finished with this. I would imagine just because when you think about Mac Rose is the highest, according to a great source, he's the highest paid athletic director in the country. Is that true? At $3.1 million? I heard that.
I have not heard that.
Okay, well, that's what I've heard, and I don't whether it's true or not. He does make $3.1 million. I've read that in a bunch of different places. So let's say he does make that. Okay, that is like not a contract that you just like. Well, and there is so much at play here with the Michael Trigg thing, and then the the other thing that's not a Title IX thing, but was reported that really pushed this. Leave of absence, right? That Mac took. He took the leave of absence too. I'm sure legally there's something to that, right? That the fact that he didn't get pushed out. I think this could take a minute, and I really do think, and I'm curious to get your opinion on this, Scotty, because you're hot to trot this morning about the possibility of these other candidates. But my concern for folks around Baylor, and I'm not like I understand that Dave Aranda should not come back. From a football perspective, it is time to turn the page. But who are you, like, are these guys that we're talking about going to be gone by the time Baylor's ready to hire a coach?
No.
What have
let
you
me do
heard?
Let me do a little cross promotion real quick, Pete. The guy that's plugged in a little better than me is Matt Mosley, and we'll be live today at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
We'll be live today at 1 o'clock. We've been talking about this all week, and Mosley's been dropping hints that I don't know that I'd be willing to drop on his show all week.
Well, tell me what he said.
Oh, I'm about to give you the overview. Okay. But if you're a Baylor fan watching the Pete Sousa show, check out the Matt Mosley show. That's a good source of information during this
It's
period.
an amazing source of information.
Okay. Mosley was under the impression all week that this Mac Rhodes thing, contrary to what you just said, was going to be done quickly. It is Thursday, and it hasn't been done. But he was asking me to watch Twitter really closely during the show yesterday because he was under the impression that it was that close.
I listened to him on Tuesday, and the guy had me on pins and needles. I was literally like that anymore. I don't know if that's Matt's like promotional skills.
So let me combine Matt saying that with something I heard from a source, and this is the advantage to working in a fine dining restaurant, Pete. You never know who's going to walk in and just drop some information on your head. That happened to me Monday night. Here's what I heard Monday night, and I have followed up and not heard anything that would lead me to believe otherwise. Baylor already has the next AD in mind and interested. I think legally speaking, there's not a deal, right? You got to figure out how to separate from Mac Rhodes. But the next AD is in the bullpen. I do not believe it is Jeremiah Dickey.
And that was Mac's guy, his number 2, wherever Mac
correct. And he is very well thought of at Baylor. And by the way, if this supposed kind of replacement that's already lined up doesn't work out, Jeremiah Dickey could very well be fielding a phone call and having the conversation with Baylor. I'm not saying it will not be him. I'm saying this week, it is probably not. He is not lined up for that job at this time. The AD that Baylor would like to take this job would likely be an instant access to a top head coaching candidate who is also very interested in the Baylor job.
I love that, dude.
That is plan A for Baylor. That is best case scenario for Baylor.
Okay.
A lot has to get done, Pete. But I think the university would like to get this thing with Max settled quickly. By the way, trying to be tactful here.
Sure.
There are multiple litigations in Mac's life right now. Not just trying to figure out his contract with Baylor.
Sure.
So I think it would probably behoove Mac to figure things out with Baylor quickly, just as much as it would behoove Baylor.
But if I'm Mac Rhodes, and this is crazy to think that, you know, and we've all had transgressions in our lives. And every time that I've had a transgression, I've never found myself in a position of leverage. But it does sound like, it does sound like in Mac's case, like the more he kicks the can down the road, let's just say, and is working towards whatever kind of settlement might favor him, right? If he holds out, he knows he's got this school over a barrel, which I don't think he would do.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And part of what Baylor's exploring and needs to figure out, and it's part of why this is taking more than a weekend, is if they can fire him for cause or not. That is the primary legal discussion happening within Baylor.
I think you can, because the Michael Trigg thing, I mentioned the Michael Trigg thing to Devin Gardner yesterday. And the guy, because Devin Gardner was on Inside the 12. We're going to air this, that interview tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I said Devin, because he was on the call with Tim Brando, which this is kind of amazing. Check this out. I said, you were calling the game. Did you notice anything? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, there was like an incident. And this is before we started the interview. He had no idea. And I told him what happened. First of all, he was fearful for Mac Rhodes because he said, you don't want to mess with Michael Trigg. Like, that guy he's a different breed. You know, he said that could have gone the wrong way for Mac Rhodes from a physical altercation standpoint. But he almost fell out of his goddamn chair as to like how crazy that was. And if you want to, you could even say that this was a position of like some kind of assault. I mean, so is that the litigate? Is that the cause?
I think the path you just outlined is exactly what Baylor would probably like to do. And that is purely speculation. And that's not, I don't have any insight into Baylor's legal team. None. I have insight into that athletic department a little bit, not so much lawyers. But I think that path you just,
from listening to Matt and from, talking to sources. And again, we're staying positive here, but we're curious and we want to bring fans that love Baylor football the most up-to-date news on this situation because it matters to a lot of us. This is important to a lot of us. But do you get the feeling that Baylor is like, we got to make quick work of this situation? Like, it sounds like from what Mosley has said, that they get it. They're like, let's cut through the red tape as much as we can and get this done and get a new coach. Is that the feeling you're getting?
Yep, absolutely. I think Baylor understands the need to move quickly to get all these pieces in place. As you kind of said a little bit ago, before some of these coaches start going off the board, because this carousel cycle, man, it's fast and furious. There's a lot of really good schools looking at talented coaches. And I think Baylor's got an inside track on 2 or 3 who are really desirable. But if you're still trying to figure out your AD thing in 3 weeks, you're going to lose all 2 or 3 of them because they're really desirable. Now, this is where I've argued with, and I don't remember if you and I have had this conversation, but I've argued about it with some others. This is where Baylor's a really attractive job, Pete. Yeah. You mentioned Lincoln Riley. To the national media, it would make no sense for Lincoln Riley to go from Oklahoma to USC, where he's been successful, maybe not as successful as he would have hoped, but USC is a perennial 9-win team right now under Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
It would make no sense for him to go to Baylor. And I will again say there's smoke to that. I don't know how much fire is there. But
I'm going to tell you when you're done why it might make sense. Go ahead.
There's a lot. I mean, there's enough smoke there that I think there's some conversation.
Okay.
Here's where Baylor's an attractive job. Lincoln Riley would rather live in Central Texas than Southern California. That's not true for everybody. It is true for him. Lincoln Riley feels like he can recruit better, field a better team, and make the college football playoff more often at Baylor than at USC.
Yeah.
Not crazy. And so this is where, yes, Baylor for a certain kind of man, first of all, but for a certain kind of coach from a certain region of the country who recruits a certain kind of player. Baylor makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense for Lincoln Riley. I have heard from a member of one of Baylor's royal families that it makes a lot of sense for John Summerall. It makes a lot of sense for Eric Morris. There's a lot of desirable candidates who look at Baylor as a good job, not a stepping stone job, but a good job. And Baylor needs to move quickly to get one. You just need one of those guys to reignite this fan base and maybe reignite this program. Go ahead. What was your point about Lincoln?
I know my point on Lincoln is his wife went to Texas Tech.
Yes.
And so he has big time roots in the state of Texas. And I'm sure she's like, hey, that's got to be a lot living out there. And I can tell you, as far as like, you're paying like $9 million for a house out in Los Angeles, California, you'd be paying $1 million for that same house in Central Texas, out in like Badger Ranch or whatever the hell it's called.
And you bringing in his wife, like I think people have learned in the last few years how valuable that is. Nick Saban is on TV. I'll just go ahead and say it because of Miss Terry. I think Nick Saban might be tempted to go take this LSU job. Seriously, I think he would. I think the dude loves to coach ball. Miss Terry's like, no, sir. Right? Like, I think that's what's happening there. Scott Drew is at Baylor and not Kentucky. Credit goes to Mack Rhodes. Credit also goes to his wife and children who wanted to stay in Central Texas. So it's not insane.
By the way, that's where I shifted yesterday with Kiffin when Shahan brought to light the fact, and I did not know this, that Lane Kiffin's, the mother of his kids, who I think he's reconciled with, her dad played at the University of Florida. And like after being at Florida Atlantic, like that makes sense for Lane to go there. That's another happy wife, happy life deal.
Bingo. Yeah. And so with Lincoln, you're right. I think there are family considerations where, again, for some people, SoCal is your place. Listen, would it surprise me if Dave Aranda is at UCLA or USC next year as a defensive coordinator? No, because that's where he's from, right? That's home in some ways. For Lincoln and his family, the South Central Texas, Oklahoma kind of region has become home. And it would not surprise me if Lincoln thinks, man, I Baylor, let's just be honest, there's a huge portion of the Baylor fan base that wants Art Briles style football back in Waco. Lincoln is one of the 5 at least best offensive minds in the sport who's constantly winning Heisman trophies for his quarterbacks. Yeah, dude, he would be a fit, and he knows it.
Scale of 1 to 10, how excited would you be
if we got Lincoln Riley?
Yeah.
It's growing on me, Pete. I think last week I would have told you like a B-, and only because Lincoln has struggled at Oklahoma and USC to kind of like finish a season. Like he's had teams that you would say maybe should have won a playoff game or should have won a conference and they fell short. But yes, I would be stoked, dude, because if Baylor's floor is 8-4, which I think it would be under Lincoln Riley, versus its ceiling seemingly for 5 years now under Dave Aranda, 8-4. Yes, dude, I'm excited about that. And I'd be excited about what he could do recruiting here, bringing good offensive football here. I'd be begging him to hire a great DC, which he's never quite seemed to have a consistently good defense anywhere he's been. But I'd be stoked. Yes, I'd be stoked. But I'll just tell you, I'd be stoked if we get option A too. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, then I'm not going to put you in this position. I was going to ask you to rank your desirable coaches, but I don't want you to freak out.
I still some names that aren't coming up that I still like. I still like Brian Newberry at Navy. He's not coming up in a lot of conversations. I think he'd be a home run. Oh my goodness, Sam, we disagree, brother. I met Sam at a Baylor basketball game recently. Samuel's a good guy.
He's banging down the door on this one.
Samuel's a really good guy. Lincoln Riley would win 8 to 10 games a year at Baylor, and I'm here for it.
It's mostly amazing because I will say, and I don't think he's pulling anybody's chain. I know Matt is sourced up, and he's got the goods on this information. But it was hilarious. I was watching his show. It was either Monday or Tuesday, and the guy – I learned something from him, right? Like he gave me the feeling that at any moment on his show, he was going to have access to like this major breaking news story that he was going to reveal what happened. And I was like,
and let me defend Matt. Every break, as I'm producing these shows for those who, let me take you some inside baseball. As I'm producing these shows, I've got windows into every camera regardless of what you see on screen. So I'm watching Matt during all the commercial breaks, and Pete, he's working the phone every commercial break.
He's an insider.
Dude, he was trying. He was trying to have some break. And we might today, by the way, tune in at 1:00. He might have it today. And we have Scott Drew today. So there's double reason for Baylor fans to get into the Moses show today.
All right, Mose. By the way, Samuel, this is the last.
Oh my God. Get over it. Let's get him. Let's go get him.
By the way, here's one more. I mean, who knows? Maybe.
Dude, what a 1-2 punch that would be, by the way.
Hey, you know what would be, but just if you're watching at home, or if you're listening, Bear the Truth said, would Saban bring Aranda to LSU if that happened? Hey, the only thing that could throw all kinds of water on this is if Dave Aranda goes out and like blows out Arizona and Tucson, right? Like, could you imagine?
Not going to happen. Hey, Pete, you know what I think a growing possibility for LSU is, though?
What?
Is Joe Brady was on that same staff in 2019.
Yeah.
And if you look at Vegas right now, I think he's third in the odds. I think that would be a strange head coaching decision because he's never been a head coach. And frankly, since he left LSU, he struggled a little bit as an offensive play caller. But I think they've got really good feelings about what he did with Joe Burrow. I think if Joe Brady is the guy at LSU, there is a high likelihood he just calls Dave Aranda and says, want to run it back? It worked in 2019. Want to run it back? That is a distinct possibility. I don't know that LSU is going to go for Brady when they could maybe get a splashier name, though.
Yeah, and look, I think I listened to our friends at On3, Ari and Andy, the other day, and Ari shared the same sentiments I did. This was just yesterday when they had revealed that Sam Levitt might leave and that Kenny might leave. It was a bummer. It was like, God, that would suck. Like, it sucks for Sam Levitt that he's leaving Arizona State, and the same thing that Glenn Parker said to us on Tuesday when we presented the breaking news to him when he was on our show. Like, why would you leave? I don't think you should leave. Kenny Dillingham leaving Arizona State, that would suck so bad for Arizona State, because if you can't keep Kenny Dillingham and Sam Levitt, like, who can you keep? That's like a weird it's just a weird author or a weird reflection of college football today. All right, do we want to take a break before Kevin, Scott, or you want to bring him right on? It's up to you.
You got time? Yeah. Hey, let's take a break.
Okay, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back with Kevin Hall. We'll do our picks, and then we'll get out of here. Dude, it is pouring rain here in North Texas. Not like I'm scared, but I might need to find one of those thunder coats. We'll be right back.
With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
We offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high-traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at bizchair.com to transform your business.
But boy, it looked effortless.
Man, watch this.
Layups, floaters, threes. He was like an unsolvable equation.
I was born like this.
His resilience, his strength, his belief, adversity never stood a chance.
Know your power.
VivoSun's mission is to empower growers with stylish and effective products, making indoor growing accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Visit vivosun.com today and get started making growing plants and vegetables easy and automatic.
WhyPersonalLoans.com. Request a loan anytime. Our partners can offer loans up to $35,000 with varying rates and terms. Review your loan offer with no obligation and decide what works for you. Visit PersonalLoans.com today.
So all you have to do is tap your Popple to the back of someone's phone like that, and they instantly get your social media and contact info right on their screen. They don't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. So get your Popple today and start impressing everyone you meet. Make it pop.
Is your Mac running slow? Mac Booster 8 is your all-in-one solution to clean up 20 types of junk files. Get your Mac running like new again with Mac Booster 8. Visit macboost.net today.
It's the Pete Sousa Show.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Circulon C1 Series Clad with Scratch Defense Non-Stick. Maximize cooking, minimize cleaning. Discover the unmatched durability and elegance scratch-free, worry-free, forever.
I am obsessed with helping business owners increase their traffic and turn it into profit through the power of Pinterest marketing. It's this amazing platform where people are looking for ideas, inspiration. They have a problem and they're actively looking for a solution.
Stability.
I'm also hearing whispers that Gary Patterson would love the job, but that's just
Okay, so I've heard that too. I would much rather have. I would be excited about that hire. I think that's a short-term solution. I'd be more excited about some of these other guys.
all right. I'm excited about Kevin Hall. Let's get him going. Kev, what up, my man?
I did not make the choice to be in your seat.
No, man, come on. This
Scotty's
is
choice.
I'm happy to have you there.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right.
Man, we don't play like that.
You need to do any underdog stuff here? You want to jump right into
Already-
it?
We're good. We're going right into it.
All right. Last week, you both picked the Chargers over the Jaguars, and the Jaguars came back in a fury after their debacle the week before with Houston. And then, Pete, you had the Bills. Scotty was on the Baker train, and the Bills got that one done at home as expected by Pete. And then you both picked the Rams in their midnight mode uniforms correctly. And then, Pete, you picked the Chiefs, and Scotty got the Broncos on that one. The Chiefs, who knows? We will see. And then Pete went with his Eagles and got that one done.
Unbelievable,
Scotty,
by the way. Unbelievable performance.
Yep. Imagine what would happen if the Eagles really realized that they had all the weapons they actually do. And then the Cowboys over the Raiders happened in decisive fashion. Of course, it was against the Raiders. I incidentally got that one wrong, not because I picked the Raiders, but earlier in the season, I mentioned during our show that it would be funny if the Packers and Cowboys tied, and they actually did. So I've made the bold move to call this one a tie. And how funny it would be to have a 2-tie team, and of course it'd be the Cowboys, So I have a 38-28 record because of that game. Liam is up, get one game on me, 39-27. Pete, you got 24-20, and Scotty's up one game on you.
Scotty, here I come, baby.
25-19.
Time to extend my lead, Pete. Time to extend it.
We got some good games starting with tonight, the running of the Bulls, the Bills at Houston, the Battle Reds. Scotty, did you get you got the uniform, the Battle Reds?
Oh, hold.
Okay, hold on. Because, Pete, you requested to see the different uniforms. If you ask me, this one is way too candy apple red, shiny on the top, and
look,
not
you
enough
did the
contrast
uniforms
on
this
the
week.
helmet.
Way to go, Kev.
Yeah, but that's a good-looking player right there, Mr. Jalen Petrie.
Isn't he still out?
That's a real baller right there. I don't care. That's a baller in the photo. That's all I'm saying.
I figured that Scotty would appreciate that one. The helmet, to me, needs some white in there, a la the Vikings on that horn, but just to separate the blue and the red. But, whatever. Bills at Houston, Thursday Night Football. Are the Bills back, or will they lose to another mediocre team? What do you think? We're going to start with Scotty this week.
Notably, both defenses captained by Baylor Bears, so I love that. But give me the Bills. Give me the Bills pretty big. I think that there's just a significant difference between these two teams.
Pete?
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills as well.
Ooh, both of you
And
Bills
I'm taking
on
Al
the road.
Michaels. He says he wants to come back and do Thursday night again next year. Let's go, Al. Put us to sleep again. I love him.
He's a glutton for punishment on these Thursday night games.
He's a legend. I love him, but it is kind of crazy how he just kind of calls his own shots and he's going to be back again. He sounds like he doesn't want to be there 50% of the time. Okay, next one.
Right. Okay. Then the next game, we got Vikings at the Packers. Which defense is going to show up? That's the question on both of these teams in particular. Pete, what do you think?
I'm not going against the Packers at home. No, Packers.
All right. Scotty.
Sorry to be boring. Same thought. These are both weird teams this year, but Packers being at home and having the more experienced quarterback is the safer pick.
All right. And then we got the Steelers at the Bears. Does Mr. Rogers still own the Bears? Scotty, you're up first.
I don't think he's going to play, is he?
Is he? No? It's going to be Will?
I think they're playing Mason Rudolph at quarterback. Am I crazy about that?
No, I think you're right.
But here, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you, it doesn't change my pick, actually. Time to buy Chicago, man. I've been resisting it all season long because I think Caleb Williams is such a not trustworthy quarterback. But Ben Johnson, man, he's figured it out. He's figured out how to use these offensive pieces. They're leading the division. Y'all don't look now. The Chicago Bears are leading their division. I'll take Chicago.
The last time that they led their division was it was Mitch Trubisky, I believe, at quarterback.
Sounds right.
I think that was what I saw. Pete, what do you think?
I like the Bears. Good for Caleb Williams. I'm kind of enjoying a little bit of a rebound for him.
All right. Then the next game, it's the Eagles in the Kelly Green. We don't have a picture because we all know what that looks like. Where's the helmet here? We don't. Does he have it?
It's on the floor behind the desk, by the way.
All right. Okay.
I don't know who put it there. That actually wasn't.
All right. So it's the Eagles versus the Cowboys.
Look at that
in Jerry World. Here we go.
Oh, I hate you guys.
This is what it looks like, brother.
Oh man. Will the Eagles remember that they have AJ Brown or not?
No, they're not.
Guys, you guys.
We're up with Pete first. Pete, do I even need to ask who you're picking?
Birds, baby. Birds. You know what's interesting? I was listening to Colin Cowherd talking to Josh Pate, and they were talking about Mount Rushmore college football jobs. And Cowherd said the Eagles' job was up there with like some of the major jobs in sports, which I almost think he spoke at a turn, and he didn't mean to say it, but he said it. So there you go.
Well, Cowherd's had a crush on Howie Roseman like for 10 years. So that tracks.
That's it. Yeah, okay.
Scotty, what do you think? Can you go against your team, Scotty?
I have to. Listen, I'm going to be so mad if I'm wrong about this because I do think the Cowboys
you are a game up. If you pick this one wrong,
he
catches up.
Yeah, but
But if you pick it right,
that defense has done 2 consecutive weeks to the best quarterback in the league and then to the best offense in the league, in my opinion, to the Lions, as far as like just offensive scheme. As good as Dallas's offense is, we know how bad their defense is. They looked better this last week, but it was the Raiders, dude. It was the Raiders. I don't buy it all the way. Yeah, Philly's going to win.
All right.
I will tell you, this is my man Murph called me yesterday and we were talking, and he said the Eagles were going to lose. He just said that was his like little like crystal ball. I'm still picking the Eagles because why would I pick against them? But I do think that spread is an indicator of this is going to be a pretty good game.
I think
2.5. The Eagles only favored by 2.5.
My hesitation here, Pete, sincerely, was not just because I'm a Cowboys fan. I think this could be a trap game for Philadelphia. I do.
Yeah, me too.
But Philadelphia is just such a good team, man. That defense is so good.
And I hate to say it because I'll put my hat back on. I can't wear a Raiders hat and an Eagles jersey at the same time. I would hope that somebody will walk through the door and just shoot me. But I will say that the Raiders suck so bad that it's really hard to get an idea of who the Cowboys are. After that. Yeah.
If the Cowboys lose, is their season over before Thanksgiving? Even?
Yes.
It's already over.
I don't think it's over. But if they lose this game, stick a fork in them. But they still have a shot.
All right. Stick a fork in them before they ever get a chance at the turkey leg. Buccaneers at Rams, Sunday Night Football. Hey, remember that Thursday night game where Baker had with the Rams on like 2 days with the team?
Yeah.
Wow, that was good times, right?
Yeah.
Scotty, who you think's going to win? Are you still with Baker or did he fail you and you're out?
This is the matchup of the week, baby. 2 Texas high school stars going at it, playing outstanding football at quarterback. I got to go back on my word, Kevin. I want to keep riding with Baker, but the Bucs have clearly hit some road bumps, and I think Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFL this season. Give me the Rams, and I'm still picking Texas quarterbacks here. Give me the Rams.
I I have the money to get veneers like Stafford because I think they're beautiful. I think and he's a beautiful guy. And I think he is going to win that game. So, yeah. I mean, right now, Stafford's on such a heater. I think we'd all be foolish to bet against him. Just my opinion. He's on a real heater.
Yeah, as good as Baker was at the beginning of the season, Stafford is kind of continuing that. Of course, can you fault the guy? He lost almost all of his weapons, did Baker, to injury and things. So, he's throwing to fourth and fifth stringers. Then the Monday Night Football game, surprising Panthers against the 49ers. Will the Niners make a run now that Brock Purdy is there? And are the Panthers actually as good as 6-5, really?
How about that's a good game now? I mean, like, the
Right.
beginning of the year or 4 games into the season, you would have been like, man, that's going to suck.
But you got to look at who the Panthers have beaten and who they lost to, and you kind of would get a better picture.
Okay. Am I up first?
You're up first, Pete. Yeah.
Yeah, San Francisco.
All right.
I need you to make a bad pick, Pete, so I can go against you here. I can't pick against San Francisco. Brock Purdy's the man. I know that guy gets criticized a lot, but he's a baller, and he looked good last week. Give me San Francisco.
All right. Yep. Now that Purdy's back, we get a value of, he got maligned over the last 2 years of how good is he, just a product of the system. And we found out whenever he was back just how good he actually is.
By the way, and we've learned in the past 2 years with guys like Sam Darnold, all of these quarterbacks are product of the system. All of them. They all benefit from or not from whatever system they're in. Yes, Purdy benefits from being in a great offensive scheme, but the dude is a playmaker also. Like, let's not pretend like those things are different.
Yeah, Shanahan could be coach of the year for what he's been able to weather through this storm as well. Speaking of products of system, I'm going to give you an extra point. We are going to pick this on Friday. We're going to have a special guest. Rogue Media has a new Chiefs report, so we're going to have Jace on our show doing a preview with us.
That's my guy.
Yeah, so he's going to be on our show doing the preview, but we don't pick this game until that time. So you have to tune in to see what we think. But we'll give you guys a first shot at it. Scotty will start off. It's Colts at Chiefs. The Chiefs are my third least favorite team. You got to tune in on Friday to figure out who the other two are and why they are that way. And then, questions surround both of these teams in their current records. Patrick Mahomes has never lost 3 in a row, but he's also never beaten the Colts in the regular season. All of that to set up. Scotty, Colts at Chiefs. Who you got?
Kevin, you messed me up a few weeks ago, man. I finally picked in Indianapolis for the first time, and they got beat.
Yep.
Here's the deal, and I truly believe this. This is not just Kevin hate or Indy doubt. If Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are who I think they are, this week at Chiefs facility was the most intense week they've had in years. Their backs are against the wall, and I am not betting against the greatest quarterback ever and the greatest coach ever. Yes, I believe both of those things are true when their backs are against the wall. It's another Texas high school player playing quarterback, so I'm a little biased there as well. Let's go Chiefs.
Now, keep in mind, the Colts do now have Charvarius Ward and Sauce Gardner on the outside, locking things down. So,
and the Chiefs have Baylor Bear Tyquan Thornton running deep, baby. Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, who? Go ahead, Pete.
Does Carly Ursay, does she travel with the team?
Yes, she does.
Then I want the Colts.
All right. I love it. We have one game difference, and it's on my team. I love it. There we go. That's all we got for the picks this week.
Hey,
any other questions from you, Pete?
Anything going on with Sophie Cunningham or Caitlin?
Nope, not that I know of. It's just more of the same. Sophie didn't reach out to us to be on our show. I guess she's too chicken.
I want a nugget on one of those two next week. All
right, we'll do. The Pacers, I got this new Pacers hat with their new uniforms. Their new city editions are kind of throwbacks. Yes. And they won their second game of the season. So, and it's 2-13, but they had 70 in the first half. TJ McConnell throwing full length passes, and Benedict Mathurin had a double-double, 24 and 12 rebounds.
With Halliburton out and the big guy left, what's his name?
Miles Turner, who is not doing good for the Bucks either.
Hey, there's a real question, guys. We're early in the season, but I think it's time to start asking, are we entering an era where the loser in the NBA Finals just has the worst season ever the next year? It happened last year to the Mavericks. They lose in the NBA Finals. The next year, worst decision in sports history to trade away a superstar. To the Pacers, their superstar has a season-ending injury, and now the Pacers are 2-13. Maybe there's a little NBA Finals curse going on here.
Yeah.
It could be the loser of the finals. Yeah. That's happened before, though, with Super Bowls, too. Not to this degree, though. Good point, Scotty. All right, the Pete Sousa Show, we're wrapping it up. Tomorrow is going to be Devin Gardner and Scotty. And Scotty, there you go. You can just – Scotty's going to give an update on what's going on with the Baylor AD and coaching search.
Oh, there we go.
And then he's going to go to Devin Gardner, and then we're going to call it a day. All right, there you go. There's your table being set for Friday. You guys are the best. Scotty, you're the best. Kevin, you're the best. Seriously, and Slovakics, thank you so much. Thank you, Chris Visser. And thank you, Bob Asmussen. That was really cool. Remember to go to, honestly, you guys, I've been getting all kinds of great feedback on the interview we did yesterday with Shahan Jayaraja. Like, people love that. It's more views and comments than I thought. So check that out. It's really good. And it's kind of time sensitive as we head into the weekend. Also, little cross promotion. The Payoff with Pete, the podcast I do about sobriety. I had Kelly Croce on. Kelly was a good buddy of mine. We grew up together. Her dad, Pat, was a part owner of the Sixers during the Iverson run. He's this amazing blue-collar dude that was literally like the Philadelphia Flyers trainer, started up a rehab facility, like physical rehab, and, made a ton of dough. But a blue-collar guy, self-made. And then Kelly was just this really cool person that was always easy to talk to. And who would know somebody like that with the perfect outsides, right, would be an alcoholic? I didn't know. But then I saw she got sober, and she's been sober for 5 years, and she had an amazing message. So if you can't stop drinking, or you got an issue, or your family member does, check out that podcast, The Payoff with Pete, Stories of Sobriety. We got close to like 150, 200 up there now. So there's all kinds of people, notable, not notable. You can check that out. All right. Have a great weekend. Scotty's got you tomorrow. I will be, and I'll be on the call for UAB USF on Saturday. I'm looking forward to getting a nice glimpse of Byron Brown. It was really cool to talk to Alex Golish this morning. Great guy. I'm hoping UCF, for the UCF people, keeps him, but this is a crazy business, right? We'll talk to you on Friday, and then I'll see you Monday.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference, because my stress level when we shut down to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Show. Sports.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me, and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is stark.
Show. Sports.
Our professionals are not only experts in managing urgent concerns, but also in providing top-notch preventative health care. We're proud to connect pet owners to a vast network of licensed veterinary professionals, ready to address any immediate concerns. Book your first appointment today.
Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. NALGENE.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.